What's up, everybody? Make another video. This time I'll talk about my front wheel. I've been asked by a few people that I ride with, how'd you put a Harley wheel on a metric bike? And to their, disbelief, Harley, well, some newer Harleys anyway. I believe it's like 2008 to now, but correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 2008 to now. Share a same front axle diameter. It's 25 millimeter. I have a front wheel off of a 2010 Street Glide on this bike. It's the 18-inch. I want to say it's called the Air Striker front wheel. Pretty good deal. Pretty good setup. Actually got the wheel off of eBay. Paid, I want to say like $130 and $50 shipping. Showed up, good shape. I mean, it had some residue here and some residue here, and the tire that was on it was in pretty good shape. So I rode it for a little bit, and I had a blowout on it. The sidewall blew out, and well, it was full of slime, tire sealant, whatever you want to call it, which is always a huge no-no in my book for motorcycles, because they're so small, they just a little bit of something different throws the weight off of them, and it makes them horrible to ride with. This bike was miserable to ride. And it didn't come with rotors, so I hopped on Amazon. I bought these. These are TCMT branded, just some Chinese brand, full floating front rotors for. I typed in a 2010 Street Glide front rotor, and it popped up a pair for like $250. So I bought them, and I can't say anything bad about them. They stop. They're straight. They look decent. So back to the matter at hand. As far as putting the front wheel on, my personal opinion is buy another front axle with spacers already, off of eBay or something like that. So that way you'll have a set to cut down little by little until you get it perfect. And if you ever want to put your factory front wheel back on, you can do that with ease with just, putting this axle on and putting these new spacers in, and your factory front wheel go back on, no issue. That's what I did. I won't give specific measurements because I found some measurements on Vulcan forums that weren't applicable to this wheel. I bought the same year model wheel this guy did, but my bearings, I don't know if his bearings and my bearings were different. I don't know if his were ABS, mine are non-ABS, but mine are non-ABS. So mine are 1.622 and 1.722. So they're only a very little bit off to get my wheel center, because one bearing's pushed in further than the other, whatnot, and all this other stuff. As far as the brake mounting goes, I recommend pulling the forks, pulling the lower tubes. It's a good time to go ahead and work on seals and stuff like that. Having a machine shop do them once you get all your measurements. Because if I tell you a certain measurement, oh yeah, just cut a 1/4 inch off of it, and it's not right, I don't want y'all coming back and saying, oh, you told me it was a quarter. No. Take your own measurements, do your own research. If this is a mod you want to do, it works perfect. There's zero issue with it. You get a better tire selection. The wheel looks amazing on the bike. It really does. And, it's just an overall, It just looks nicer. It's not. There's no performance advantage. There's nothing like that. It looks nicer. So that's my take on it. I was just making this video to show some people, how you can put a Harley front wheel on a Kawasaki Vulcan. It's not hard. It takes a little bit of time, a few measurements. I use this right here. It's a measuring tool. I don't know exactly what it's called. I'm not a machinist. I don't know what this specifics are on this, but this is what I used to measure, right here. Right there. That's what I used to measure inside to inside. Transferred it over to a digital caliper, micrometer, veneer gauge, veneer caliper, whatever you want to call it, and transferred that to a piece of paper, sent it to a local machine shop, sent my fork legs to a local machine shop. They ended up cutting off 3 30-seconds over a 1/4 inch, whatever that is. Like I said, I don't know tape measure numbers right off the top of my head. I'm just going off of what I was told. And they machined the spacers, they machined the fork legs, and the front wheel rolls as smooth, if not smoother, than the factory front wheel. So if it's a mod you think you want to do, go for it. There's no reason not to, unless you just like original. And if you don't like original, you like to modify things or make things fit that shouldn't be on something, like me, then go for it. I'm always down to do stuff that shouldn't be done when it comes to motorcycles. So that's it for this video. If you like the stuff I'm putting out, there's going to be a lot more of it. I'm gonna start actually vlogging here soon once work slows down a little bit and I can take some vacation. I've got a ride planned where I want to leave from my hometown in Louisiana and ride to Austin to go ride Twisted Sisters. Yes, I'm one of those guys who rides a cruiser based motorcycle, but I still like the twisties. I'm a street bike guy at heart. That's what I started riding years and years ago, and after my Hayabusa I got into cruisers, and I still like the curve aspect of it, because baggers can handle and perform just as well as street bikes to a certain point as far as I'm concerned. It's all on the rider mostly and their skill level and their abilities, but so like I was saying, if you like the content that's coming out compared to what had been coming out, which was video games and really that's it, feel free, like, subscribe, comment. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. And yeah, see you on the next one, guys.